Hello fans, Sarcastic Dragonite here. I just got off of work. I had been planning this video for the entire day, so we'll actually see how it goes. Um, yeah, I just got off of work, so my hair is all messy and I don't want to take a shower, so I put on this hat. And some stuff went down today that I would like to talk about with you in a video kind of sense. That way, visual people can get it better and listeners can get it better, because I feel like typing things out is starting to become less effective and people aren't getting my point when I try to make something. Because of the tag sarcastic on the name, people for some reason assume that everything I say is sarcastic. And this video is about this and among other things. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah? Alright. I got my defense attorney hat on. I've played about 12 hours of Ace Attorney, so let's see if I can defend myself in the court of law. Okay, first up on the agenda is Randy Crisologo versus me, the defendant. And this came out of a message that I then turned into 3 iPhone screenshots, which are infamous now, seen here. Started with Randy privately messaging me, "Dude, you post tons of my Pokemon art, but not one piece of information as to who the artist is or links to my sites. Can I ask you to start doing so?" I, sitting in the middle of 3rd hour acting 2 class, then replied with, "You're It's a Birdie? Holy shit, dude, huge fan here. I'm actually buying a few of your prints," which I did plan on doing. "Also, I did give you credit when people were stupid enough to assume it was my artwork. I never post original content, and some of those pictures had It's a Birdie on them. Sorry for the mishap." He then went on to say, in 2 separate images here, "Well, no shit, after the first few people were right in telling me I should put a watermark. Thankfully I did, but you're still pretty low, man. I'm glad I put a big It's Birdie across my drawing, so you wouldn't have claimed that it's yours either. Or perhaps that's why you stopped, because you started seeing that you couldn't lie anymore and that my art was getting too big. Whatever the case, what you did was low, and I don't have the slightest respect for what you've done." I was pretty surprised at this. I responded with a, "Jesus Christ, dude, at no point did I claim them to be mine, and anyone who is slightly familiar with my page knows that I never post content and claim it's mine. Could you tell me where you bought a horse that high?" Some people claim that there was a cutout response, but as you can see in this 3rd image, it's right at the top here. It says, "At your stable." I can't zoom out on iPhone messages, and that really blows. Anyways, I then responded with, "Well, I think I've made my point. I love your art, and I wanted to share it with my fan base because I wanted tons of people to see it. And that did happen, and it's been shared a whole hell of a lot. 75 shares on the Dratini one. I would call that a whole hell of a lot. I have to say that I won't be buying any prints, and I was planning on buying the biggest size, a $45 Dratini print, and hanging it on my wall because I loved it so much." This was actually true. I've been meaning to get more Pokemon stuff in here. As you can see, I have like an Avengers thing and a Game of Thrones thing, and I don't have anything Pokemon related in this room, and it really kind of, I like my room to show off who I am. So when I saw that these were in prints, I figured I'll buy the biggest one and I'll put it on the wall right over here. Maybe possibly frame it. So that was actually an intention of mine. Where was I? "But I don't like funding egotistical artists, because if you put something on a public forum like the internet, you can't expect to be credited at all times." This is 2 parts. The first part is egotistical artists. I hate egotistical people a lot. And for someone to make something like art or music, and for them to constantly demand that their name be attached to it if it becomes popular, I think becomes very egotistical. And the fact that it did have his name on it, and that at any point someone could have said, "Wow, this is great, what's It's a Birdie?" and Google It's a Birdie. And I'm going to come to that after this. And the second part is, it's pretty well known that if you put something on the internet, it stays on the internet. And it can get sent through billions of portals, billions of blogs, forums, all this stuff, and your name will eventually get taken off. That's just how it goes. I've seen these pictures on Reddit where people have actually shopped out the It's a Birdie. This was on Reddit Pokemon a couple days ago before, or this is what somebody's told me, and then I went and found them, that they have been edited out. And I found them on Tumblr without any kind of link. I found them here. This is what they basically looked like. And then also here. So you could also make the argument against them and pounce on them for saying, how dare you do this? This is my artwork. What's wrong with you? Also, the fact that it's been posted on many people's personal Facebook pages for the last week or so. And mostly the Pikachu one and the 3 Kanto starters one. So with just posting those and then typing "it's cute," that also doesn't give you credit. I, with my mistake, realizing that people thought I had made them, went back and told them where to find you. Seeing as you have Instagram and I don't have Instagram, I really couldn't link or do anything at that point. So it was kind of hard for me to post links to your pictures. And then I realized my mistake and fixed it by making several comments about the artwork being yours and where to find you. Now I feel like a teacher who has gone over something on a PowerPoint and then hit the next slide. And then it's on that slide. So they're just like, wow. And then you skip it, and then nobody can take down the notes because you talked it and nobody does the talking. They only take down PowerPoint notes. We're getting off topic. I promise not to post your artwork anymore. Good day, sir. And that's where I left it. I put my phone down at that point, and I went the rest of my day, and I went to work, and I came back. After that, I had... let me find it here. After that, I had come home to a message on Facebook from Randy himself saying, okay, now I feel a little bad, just saw this post. And then it was what I said before, it's my fault, I should have made this clear, I didn't draw. And he then responded with, and now I feel stupid messaging you like this again. I probably am coming off as desperate. But sorry, I've just been hearing about my pictures being shared all over Facebook and was not being given credit, and I never knew where the source was. When I came across your page and saw all my pictures without even a link, I got angry, and for that I apologize. Now as a growing artist, to me exposure is more important than the art itself. The art myself. Oh wait, what? To me exposure is more important than the art myself. Okay, and if I don't have onlookers, then what's the point to my craft? In my sincerest apologies, I had offered to draw you a custom picture, and also it would be nice if you could post my pictures again. I know, again, my last replies weren't the greatest responses to one of my fans. Cheers, Randy. In reality, I really should be thanking you. 1, you don't have to draw me a custom picture. 2, you don't have to because you realized your mistake and you apologized for it, and that is more than what I wanted. This was just good coming from someone, because then it means that not all artists are big and stupid and ignorant like most artists are. Because when you put I understand this, when you put a lot of time and effort into something and then see it just like go somewhere else and get taken by someone else, it really does hurt. And I want you to know that I'm sorry that this blew up to what it was. It shouldn't have been anything more than it was. It was me posting pictures, and I'm surprised by the sheer magnitude of how much these pictures were shared, where you finally found your way back to my page, because that means that my reach is farther than I thought it was. And 2, I had a second, I forgot what it was. Yes, pictures being shared all over Facebook and not given credit. That's just normal art on the internet. If you put it on the internet, you can't expect it to stay where it is, because so many times can people just hit save image as, screenshot it, and then put it on their own page or their own profile and then just call it their own. So, thanking me, no, your apology was enough. Because, yeah. This is one that I did not expect. This is one that I found when I got home from work, and I have to open this by saying that I am not Op. I did not start this thread. I did not know this thread existed. And when I got home and got a message saying, hey, guess what? You're all over Reddit. I'm like, what? Well, it's not all over Reddit. It's on our Pokemon. But, wow, Reddit does not like me. As seen here and also here. I have to defend myself against Reddit now, so let's see how this goes. There's three sides, no, I think there's four sides to this argument. The first side is that I am in the wrong. The second side is that It's a Birdie is in the wrong. The third side is that we are both stupid. And the fourth side is I am only wrong because I posted links after I had been caught for it not being original content. Okay, let's start off with this first argument here. Let me find it on my dash. Argument number one was started by... who was it that started this one? Dacker A with the Latias icon. Honestly, while his reaction may be a little harsh, he has a point. There are so many pages that will take artist content and not label it, or even worse, label it as their own. How would it hurt your page to provide a link to the artist's work? Also, you can't assume that all of the people who follow your page know that you didn't create the content. In the end, he's not really a dick, and you're not as innocent as you make yourself out to be. Edit. After looking through the sarcastic Dragonite page, if It's Birdie only looked through the first few posts, he could have easily believed that Op was claiming his work as his own. He had posted the picture of the 3 evolutions with the title, "Someone asked for Vaporeon, this was the best I could do." Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like Op was claiming that he did the drawing for one of his fans. That's how I construed it, and I have Op's perspective on this. So, Op, please link the source in your Facebook posts. It saves everyone time and anger. Artists, if you don't want anyone else claiming your work as theirs, watermark it. This is the basis of the Reddit argument against myself, is that I had made a post saying, someone asked for Vaporeon, this is the best that I could do. And this is based, this one picture was based off of Jared Furrow asking, do Vaporeon, P. He wanted a picture of Vaporeon, so I went and looked for Vaporeon, and I found it. And I then made the post saying, this is the best I could do. Because it's not just Vaporeon, it's also Flareon and Jolteon, and I'm pretty sure just regular Eevee. So, for you to construe that as me saying this is the best I could do, you're under the assumption that within the 5 minutes of me posting an old picture, I had fully drawn and colored another picture. Is that how art works? Anyways, so that is the main argument against me on here, is that I had said, someone asked for Vaporeon, this was the best I could do. Another comment by J. Hall Comics. I'm a pretty big fan of J. Hall Comics, by the way. A lot of drawings from him I saw when they started showing up in this sub didn't even have a signature or watermark that I can remember, so he can't be pissed that someone is sharing them the way he made them. If I wanted to share those pics after seeing them on Imgur, I would have no way of finding out who made them without digging for info. My position with art has been, as I've neglected to put a SIG watermark URL in a piece and it gets shared without attribution, then it's my fault. And he's got a point. If you post something without a signature or a URL or a watermark of some kind, and then it gets put somewhere else, you have to remember that in the internet, there would be you, there would be someone who takes your picture, and there would be someone who posts it. This is 2 sites, which then can be turned into 3 sites, and then just takes off. So, the way that I did find them on Tumblr, I had to go digging for these pictures. I had to go look for them. And with the idea in mind that I should have added a link or something like that, I personally, as a page admin, don't feel like I should spoon feed my audience every single link to every picture. And for you to say that all the people who follow my page don't know that I create this content, then it would basically, you would have to assume that every artwork I post, everything that I've ever posted is my own, and that I have 30,000 different art styles, and I cater to everything, and I can draw everything. That is ridiculous. Especially if this guy isn't from the Facebook page community and doesn't know that this is what we do. We take things and we post them. We don't always link because we don't always have a link. If you're a page that goes to Reddit Funny and then just copy pastes from Reddit Funny onto your page, there's no link to be had. You don't link the Reddit thread on there. You don't do it for 4chan, you don't do it for Tumblr, because there's probably never links. Art leaves the artist and is hardly ever to come back to them. And people don't seem to understand this. Artists think, well, how hard is it for you to link and label my art? One, we shouldn't have to do it for you, and two, if it's so random, like this situation has been, where I find a picture on Tumblr without any links, only with It's Birdie on it, and I post it on my page, that should be where my contribution ends. Because if someone is to like it and share it, then that's fine. I never make a point to saying it's mine. Never at one point did I say, these are mine, I drew these, how do you guys like them? And to assume that every time a picture is seen that you can easily find a link or an Instagram profile is kind of hard to believe, especially when you look at things like wallpapers, which hardly ever have a watermark or anything on them, and people use wallpapers like it's nobody's business. Now, there are people who go, yeah, I don't care, I made it for myself, if you guys like it, then take it. And there are people that say, I took 2.5 years painting this, and this is mine, I can't believe you're using it as your desktop wallpaper without my permission. You put it on the internet. You can't expect everyone to give you pitch perfect credit for what you've done. I feel like his anger is wasted on such an apologetic guy. I agree that people who post uncredited art that isn't theirs should get a smackdown, but in this case it seems that the error was already being handled. There was millions of random people posting his art online with the caption, "So cute," and with no recognition at all. While that is going on, I don't see a point at yelling at someone who's realized their mistake. The point being made here is that these pictures are being shared around a whole hell of a lot, and for him to call out only me on these is redundant, because telling one person that they are in the wrong and they are being a art-claiming asshole is completely redundant, because these pictures are so ridiculously famous that for me to correct my mistake is a godsend as it is, and that you shouldn't be so mad. The third argument here is, okay, there's a lot going on here. It's Birdie kindly asked for the poster to attribute credit. The poster sent a response, and something got lost in the middle. The response makes it sound like the poster only provides links and credit when someone misinterprets the art as his own. This could be why It's Birdie had a heated, albeit arrogant response. It's Birdie has a right to request links to his own artwork, and Sarcastic Dragonite should have added a link when he posted the pictures. It's lazy to say, I never post original content, and expect people coming to the page to assume that. Like I said before, I really don't want to be the guy who spoon-feeds his audience. If you want more, you look for more. It's not being lazy, it's just... How do I say this? I don't want to mother my audience into going, okay, here's artwork, here's a link to more artwork, because that takes so... It just... What I'm trying to say is, it takes so much time, and to do it for every picture I post, it's too much. I have to take a picture, I have to find my way back to the original artist, and I have to say, hey, I have a Facebook page. Do you mind if I post this here? And they have to agree on it. That is why it takes so long. Because it's just... It's hard enough as it is when most pictures, although some do come from DeviantArt and some do come from original Tumblrs, most don't. So for me to try to find my way through the internet to find the original link to these pictures so that people can get original content from the source, that's not the point of my page. I find something funny and I post it. That's how it's been since day one. Well, most Pokemon furries like yourself are insufferable twats, and I'm sure he's bothered enough by assholes like you getting pedo erections over his drawings, so maybe his response is completely justified. Like, wow. That's worse than you're worse than 4chan. Redditor. Are you from 4chan? Go. This is one I've been waiting on for a while, because this guy, Chris Albrecht, has been commenting a lot on my page lately. It started about a month ago, and basically every time I try to make a post, or a serious post at that, he posts this. Now, there are more occasions of this that I assume he's deleted since then. He's done the Gary Braun thing, if you want to go back to that. And he then makes this post. Pretty funny seeing you talk about that guy's high horse when you claim all other Pokemon pages are clearly made after me. You should change your name to Hypocritical Dragonite, or alternatively you could just stop being a giant faggot. Your call. I then went on to say, well, when was the last time I said that? And he said, that would be number 7 on your to get a share from Sarcastic Dragonite list. And then this guy, Ace Robertson, said, if I could just interject, for a page labeled Sarcastic Dragonite, I have noticed a severe lack of sarcasm. It may interest you to note that the symbol used to indicate sarcasm in textual form is... I strongly suggest you utilize this symbol in order to effectively indicate sarcastic tone if and or when you use it. Let's take a history lesson here, guys, because as my page grows bigger, my fan base that knows my page grows smaller. So let's go back all the way to December 2011 when I first made this page, and it was originally called Dragonite. I was at 53 or so likes when a conversation arose between me and Hipster Link and Pokemon Trainer Gold, I think it was, and then the original Dragonite page. I had no idea he existed, and I had only created this page to follow pages in the community, like Kirby, and Amiibo Corb, and Hipster Link. All of this going on, I only made this page so that I could comment on this without it being attached to my real profile. After a while, I started getting more likes, so I decided to start posting pictures, and that's when I guess my page started growing. I had met up with the original Dragonite page who said, I can't change my name and I'm not going to because I'm the original page. So I said, okay, I agree with that. So instead of doing the normal thing at the time, which was to put hipster in front of your name, I decided to put sarcastic and put an adjective. And it had started out that way. I was, like every small page is now, around 100 to 250 likes, a dick. That's just how small pages go. They see the big Uber pages like being total dicks to everyone, and they think that's how I get likes. So with Sarcastic Dragonite, I had started to gain likes and I had started to gain traction. After a while, I had stopped being a dick. And you could say that I should change my name to Hypocritical Dragonite, but I can't change my name because pages with more than 100 likes can't change their name. It's a thing. It's, if you had a page, you'd know. I'm thinking that this guy does have a page because he has done his homework. He's been waiting in the shadows to jump on my back and backstab me when I do or say something bad. Hence, the high horse thing. he has spent the past month sitting on every single post I make asking if it's sarcasm or not. He then goes on to say, assuming that all Pokemon pages are copying you, what about motherfucking Wigglytuff? They were around before you. Am I to assume you copied them? No, because I don't know that page exists. That's the community. The community is, you have two bigs, like say Hipster Link, Amiibo Corp, Cell, and then everyone else. To say that someone from this corner of the Hipster Link fandom copied someone from this corner of the Amiibo Corp fandom is irrelevant, because there is no possible way they could have ever crossed paths. So, the perfect example is what I already said, that there was a Dragonite page and I had no idea. So I changed my name and went forward with this name. And it worked just fine until it got to a point where my fan base was growing so rapidly that new fans would go, you don't seem very sarcastic, because they don't know what my page is or who I am. And then he goes on to say, I still like the name change idea, perhaps Sarcastic Fagonite would suit you better. And my suggestion for you, Chris, is you take you and your alcoholic ass into the kitchen to cook yourself up some better jokes, because right now your punchlines make Dane Cook look good. Dane Cook. The Dane Cook of comedy. Well, that was all I had to say. I'm glad that you're still watching to the end of this, because this turned out to be way longer than I thought it was going to be. And I'm glad that you would listen to my point, whether it's mine or Birdie's, or for or against me or him. And yeah, this was just a situation that blew out of control, and I'm glad that there were people that supported me, and I'm glad there were people that supported him, because it was a good argument. And I hope I made my point across. I know that I've gained some likes. I know that I've lost some likes. So, tomorrow's a new day, right? Anyways. Also, on a separate note, it turns out that the Magikarp picture here isn't actually his. That's somebody, like, doing fan art or imitation style, which is kind of weird. But I just thought I'd point that out, because I thought it was from him, but it turns out it wasn't. Anyways, so this took way longer than I thought it was going to. This took like 2 hours for me to make. Jesus shit. And for those of you wondering, the whole video, this is my hat that me and my friends made. It's the Guild of Calamitous Intent from Venture Bros, and we're the Foot Clan, and we all put our names on it. So I put my league name on there, Sar Dragonite, and on the back I put Danger Zone. So that's what this hat is. For some of you people wondering, I like this hat. It's a good hat. I wonder if attorney at law would be like proud of my defense. I don't know if he's a prosecutor or not. I don't know. Have a nice night, I suppose.